Yo, what is up everybody? I know, it's been a while, but I've been busy. It's about to be cuffing season, so I was out there shooting my shot trying to find the love of my life. And it's not going well. But you miss all the shots you don't take, you gotta have that Mamba mentality. Anyways, after many rejections, I do what I usually do. I binge watch some romance anime just so I could feel something again. So, that got me thinking. It's actually been a while since I've done a video about my favorite couples in anime. So that's what we're going to do today. There are some criteria that each couple has to meet though. For one, it must be canon. So sorry you Deku Baku shippers, they aren't going to make the cut. And unfortunately, my favorite ship in anime, or one of my favorite ships, which is Nalu, won't be on the list either since Hiro Mashima wants to take his sweet ass time making this happen. Number 2. I must have watched the show, seems pretty obvious, just stating this so you understand why one of your favorite couples won't make the cut. Mainly ReZero. So there won't be any ReZero on here. I just can't get past episode 5. And lastly, point number 3, manga endings count. For example, some shows, especially rom-coms, only ever get one season, without a clear-cut conclusion. So I'm going to base some of my rankings on how it ended in the manga. So obviously, there will be some spoilers ahead. Anyway, before we get into it, I'm going to ask you if you ever dealt with heartbreak or ever fell in love. Just drop a like on the video, turn on notification, and please comment below your favorite anime couple and subscribe to the channel, as doing all of this really helps the channel grow. And finally, with all that out of the way, hit that intro. Now, while making this list, I really try my best to keep it original, because we all seen lists like this with like the usual couples, like the ones from Inuyasha, Naruto, Toradora, Fullmetal Alchemist, High School Host Club, Bleach, etc. That being said, you can't make a list like this without Zero Two and Hiro from Darling in the Franxx. Arguably the most precious couple in recent memory, because episode 13 of the anime had everyone wishing that they had met an enslaved pink dino girl and run away from a secret organization together. Aww. Anyways, Hiro and Zero Two follows one of the romance tropes that I'm a huge fan of, and that's the extremely mysterious female lead getting with the extremely conservative male lead. Something about that dynamic and watching a male lead grow into a better version of himself, or better yet, finding his confidence, is something that always speaks to me. And Zero Two has pink hair, and we all know that pink hair always goes to best girl. One more thing. Trigger Studios. Where's my sequel? I ain't forget that closing scene. I'm waiting. Hak and Yona from Yona of the Dawn is another couple that just makes me believe in love again. It's your typical princess and her protector romance story, but that's just mainly in the beginning. Cause Yona is arguably one of my favorite heroines in manga ever, because I don't know, I just love me a strong woman, and the story focuses on her and her growth as a character. And that causes a ton of men to fall in love with her on her journey. But Hak is the best. Sarcastic and straightforward to a fault, the way he and Yona teased each other for like 174 chapters really made it worth the read when they did finally confess in the manga. Now, if you want to see a show where the male lead is the main attraction of the couple, you must watch Ori Monogatari. Because, for one, the OP is just phenomenal. But mainly because the ultimate husbando Takeo is in this series. And then there's Riko Yamato, who actually might be the physical embodiment of purity. Honestly, if you ever just want to feel just warm inside, like you just got hugged by your favorite stuffed animal, just watch this series. It's literally a battle between these two on who could be sweeter. The answer is Takeo. Takeo is sweeter. Now, if you want more mystery and are into the Halloween spirit this time of year, you must watch Dust Maiden of Amnesia for the love of Taichi and Yuko. You know the saying, till death do us part? Yeah, that doesn't apply to Taichi because he fell in love with a ghost that's haunting him and his school. And I mean, if a ghost with these sort of assets was haunting me, I wouldn't mind it either. Seriously though, the love story between Taichi and Yuko is a testament on how much you are willing to sacrifice if you truly love somebody. And even then, the series still has a mostly dark and mysterious tone. So those lively moments when you do see these two together really make you root for them to find a way to make this work somehow. Now, if you love your love stories with a good side of heartbreak, let me introduce you to Kosei and Kaori from Your Lie in April. For real, it's been about like 7 years since I've seen this show and I still haven't really recovered. It's very rare for me to hate an anime for its ending. But damn it, Your Lie in April was so close to getting on my hate list. Cause why the fuck would you introduce me to these two characters that literally work together in every single possible way? They grow together, they challenge one another, they live for the other. Both are the final pieces to each other's puzzles, actual soulmates, only to rip them apart at the end. This may be the only show I kinda don't recommend you actually watch because it really hurts that much. This next one is going to get some hate, and I still don't know why, but I don't care anymore. I want the world to know. I love SAO, and it's mainly because of Kirito and Asuna. Yeah, I know, super cliche to have this couple on the list. But back in 2012 or whenever the series came out, I've never seen a show like this. Not the whole trapped in a video game thing. The first isekai anime I ever seen was Digimon. But I'm talking about an action series where the main couple gets together in the middle of the season. Usually they wait till the end for some big cheesy confession or we just get like a time skip. But Kirito and Asuna's relationship was a focal point for the first arc in SAO, and the only arc that everyone actually likes. And thankfully the new movie coming out soon will finally do it more justice than the anime really did. If you want a couple that's even more popular now than Kirito and Asuna, let me introduce you to Mai and Sakuta from Bunny Girl Senpai. This should be on everybody's list. And I don't want to say the same thing that everyone says about this couple. Like, we all know that this relationship feels like one of the more realistic ones in all of anime. We all know that it's a relationship that we wish we all had. And that Mai is arguably the greatest waifu to ever exist. We all know that. All I'm going to say is, if you haven't seen the movie yet, go watch it right now. Somehow, this movie made me love them even more. And I didn't think that was possible. So you know how experts say that as a child you were very impressionable? Well, for me, two characters really influenced my preference in girls that I date. One being Videl. I just love girls with short hair. I don't know. And tomboys. It's a sickness. More importantly, I love women with high intelligence. Preferably smarter than me. Which isn't saying much cause I ain't shit. But Holo from Spice and Wolf was one of the ones that made me this way. Honestly, Spice and Wolf is one of the few animes that I prefer the dub over the sub, and it's solely because of Holo. The voice actor is phenomenal. The way she eloquently speaks at times and just schools Lawrence really left an impression on me. She's smart, confident, witty, and flirtatious, but still shows a very cute and soft side, but only to Lawrence, who in his own right is a great character and a male lead that honestly doesn't get talked about too often, and that really upsets me. That being said, Holo is still the main attraction of this couple. An absolute top tier female lead. Okay, since we're talking about romance anime, let's tackle the elephant in the room. Tsunderes. I'm gonna let y'all know that my favorite romance stories always have a tsundere. I know, I'm trash. I just can't get enough of tsunderes though. So the battle between Shirogane and Kaguya from Kaguya-sama Love is War, for who's more of a tsundere, was an absolute joy to watch. They aren't the physically harm each other type of tsundere either. They're more twisted than that. They harm each other's minds with constant mental games on trying to get an advantage on the other. But at their core, they are characters that you can't help but root for. Like Kaguya comes off as extremely cold and manipulative, which she sorta is, but most of that is just a front because of how she was raised in an abusive and sheltered life. That was until she joined the student council. When she gets her own little group of friends and her world opens up, we get to see how much more of a lighter personality she truly has. And that's mainly thanks to Shirogane, who is extremely friendly, honest, forgiving, and hardworking to a fault. Season 3 cannot come fast enough because their confession is actually one that might break the internet. And finally, the couple that needs no introduction, Bulma and Vegeta from the Dragon Ball franchise. I told you, I have a thing for tsunderes, man, and you cannot name me a bigger tsundere than Vegeta. The same Vegeta that constantly argues with his wife and tries to come off as someone that doesn't love her, but in reality, he literally fought the god of destruction when he put his hands on her. And what can you say about Bulma that hasn't been said already? Super rich, super genius, incredibly brave. And she somehow whipped the angriest man in the universe. That in itself is more impressive than anything Vegeta has ever accomplished. She is truly the rock of their relationship and the best girl in the Dragon Ball franchise. And that's saying a lot. Anyways, that's the end of the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like. Again, leave a comment in the comment section below. Who's your favorite anime couple? And I'll talk to you beautiful weebs next time.
She my little mama, drippin' in the sauna, Dolce & Gabbana, yeah. I ain't focused on the drama, only want my commas, I be stacking dollars, yeah. I ain't even tryna holla, I don't even wanna, shawty shit gonna, yeah. I be rolling marijuana, coping with the trauma, turn me to a monster, yeah. She my